Welcome back to the Comic Book Blues. There's New Bloom, your host Leroy, aka Cornbread and Cabbage, with my co-host.
This is Eli, aka C3 Peanut Butter Cups.
I caught that one. Yep. Yep. And we're back with another episode. And I know this is the week of July the 4th. So I want everybody to do to celebrate July the 4th. Watch Jaws. There you go.
That's what I do. Exactly what I do.
You didn't need.
And I watch Jaws all the time, but
I was saying you didn't need July the 4th for that. Yes.
But I usually do watch Jaws around the 4th. Because you know what? Red, white. Hey, Jake's in the house.
Yep.
Just look at the Jaws poster. Look at the Jaws poster. American as you can get. It's red, white, and blue. That should be the flag. Fuck the flag we got. We should have Jaws as our flag.
Jaws as a flag? Okay. A predator as a flag? I think America already gets the point of that. Yeah, and we're back with the episode. And Eli, we're going to have to jump into it because some crazy stuff has happened in the government this week that I want to address that actually really caught my attention. So, like I said, we got a bunch of stuff that, like, okay, we know affirmative action has been banned. Okay, that's sad. That's a bummer. We know student loans have been banned. That's a bummer. But something 10 times worse than that has happened in Mississippi. Mississippi has banned the hub. And we was like, what? The hub. I can't say it on here. A certain website.
Oh.
Yeah, the hub. They banned it.
Okay.
Fat T, what up? You got hacked. You had robots attacking my inbox. But glad you're here. Thanks for listening. Yeah, so let me get into detail about the hub getting banned. So apparently there's like some kind of big thing. Mississippi started to crack down on those type of websites, and basically any a website associated with the hub has got shut down also. So I don't mean like you can't look at it at work or you can't look at it at school. You can't look at it, period. Your phone, your computer, your iPad, nothing. It is completely blocked. If you go to the hub's website, you're just gonna see this chick right here. Let me see. So if you click on the site, all you're gonna get is this chick. This chick right now is the most hated chick in Mississippi, and I don't know who she is. I don't know if she
that is a star.
Right. I didn't know if she worked for the Mississippi legislation.
I've heard about that. I've actually heard about that.
Okay.
So it's being banned because the hub, Mississippi isn't banning it. The hub is banning it because of Mississippi shit.
That makes more sense. Okay, so once again, blame everything on Mississippi. So yeah, because I'm glad you cleared that up, Eli, because I didn't know if she was like in the government for Mississippi, like she helped.
No, she is an
employee, an employee.
A content
creator. Like not like us. She doesn't create the content we create.
No, not like us. She actually
not like no, we're nothing like us. No,
her content makes money.
Hey, Jake, I am so glad your innocent mind is not understanding anything I'm saying. I'm glad it's completely going over your head. I am so glad. Please stay as innocent and pure as you are.
You lying motherfucker.
So I'll be honest with you, it's pandemonium right now in Mississippi when this happened. It's like, I guess this is almost like when United States banned liquor. It's almost like that. Like that's what it feels like right now. So everybody's looking for like alternative sources from the hub. You know,
let's start.
What is we gonna do?
Making our own shit.
But that's the thing. You can still upload content to the hub. You can't watch it, but you can upload it. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that one. So honestly, I'm not gonna say Mississippi getting your shit because honestly, when you really think about it, you try to be pragmatic about the situation, you kind of understand. Like
I heard it was like Arizona. I think it started in Arizona.
Yeah.
And they basically like because some states that are, are being a little bit a certain way. I'm not here to talk politics, but that are basically being a little discriminative to certain demographics. Pornhub is or the hub. Sorry, it's out of the bag now. Fuck
It's out of the bag now. We said it.
Demonetized.
I was trying to see how long you were going to go before we ain't monetized anyway. So fuck it.
Yeah. So they decided, like, fuck it. If they're, these assholes, these hypocrites that are jerking off to lesbian porn are gonna like ban gay marriage and ban gay and trans rights. Fuck them.
You think that'd be a gateway to that? I mean, doesn't it make me an ally if I?
Yes. Fuck that. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, go for it. Hub, do that shit. Yeah. They don't get to jerk off to gay porn and then ban gays for their rights. Fuck that shit.
Can't be hypocritical. So yeah, that's the thing. So I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna get the situation cleared up. Like, I do want to let you know that I heard about this. It wasn't like I was just going on there. Let's see what's going on. Like, no, I heard about it because it was all over social media. So yeah.
Because the article I read was Arizona or one of them states, Arizona or something. The hub is banned in this state. I was like, really? They're banning the hub? They're like, oh no, the hub is banning them. Pretty
Mississippi is canceled. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm not out of order. You're out of order.
For those who want their American right to watch the hub, call your congressman.
We have a God-given right. Anyway,
I think protesting.
Right. Please do not go out and protest about this. Please don't, Mississippi. Because I almost feel like Mississippians would do that. That'd be the weirdest protest I've ever seen. So yeah. All right. Anyway, let's get to the next part of the podcast. I think we've talked about that enough. We've already this podcast probably already been shut down by social media anyway, just because
we've gotten off to a great start.
Exactly. So yeah. Anyway, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna let a lot of you get uploaded from down the way.
Step sheep sister. What the hell are you watching, T?
What? TMI, Fat T. TMI. We do not want to know your browser history. Anyway, let's move on past. Let's go to we're going to talk briefly about Secret Invasion 2. I think we started with the wrong topic because that's all we're going to talk about this topic.
Time to break out the magazine. This
is not 1983. I'm not going to find Jet Magazine Beauty of the Week. This is not. I know that was a little bit too specific. I know, but still,
like, damn, you were really hurt. You were just hurt, desperate as fuck.
Right?
You said, "I guess I'm jet again." It is. The magazines. Those are antiques now. You got to go to antique.
You can't even find a magazine anymore. Where you gonna find a magazine from? You can't even find a bookstore.
Sounds like Jake is showing his age.
Right, Jake. Do you have a copy of Jet Magazine Beauty of the Week? Anyway, what were we talking about? Secret Invasion. Let's go about Secret Invasion. We're going to talk about it briefly. Now, we talked about this last week. But the thing was, honestly, I thought last week's episode was extremely mediocre. I was like, it's okay. It's something to watch. I'll just keep watching and see what it goes here. But I do want to bring some good news that this episode actually was promising. It was a very promising episode. I kind of like this episode. Was a big step up from what we got before. So I think they're good. And the reason is not because of the action and thing that happened, it's because of the acting. We keep forgetting that even though we complain about Marvel didn't have any talent or any good actors, we forget that some of the best actors in Hollywood right now work for Marvel. Not saying all of them, not saying Paul Rudd and that chick he's with. I'm saying Samuel Jackson. I'm saying Don Cheadle. I'm saying that Skrull dude that's a villain in every movie. All of them are great actors. Let's go down the road. Let's see. We got this guy. This scene, like for instance, there were two scenes in this show that was just like, oh, this is some great shit right here. Like this scene right here, when because the other guys are Skrull, if you haven't seen Captain Marvel, the other guys are Skrull talking to Nick Fury, and they're talking to each other, and he's basically saying that he didn't tell Fury that he brought all the Skrulls here to Earth. There's like 1 million of them Skrull, and Nick Fury like, what the fuck did you do that for? He was like, well, I was thinking that one day that maybe Skrulls and human could exist hand in hand. And Nick Fury basically said, what? Humans can't even coexist hand in hand. We've been killing each other since we learned how to walk. And you thinking Skrulls gonna come down here? We don't have room for another species down here because we're already going at each other ourselves. And this other scene right here that just stole the show, the scene between him and Rhodey, Don Cheadle. And I just realized that, damn, that's the first time these two ever been like in a room together, just had a conversation with each other. And it was fantastic. Man, that was a great scene. And the thing is, most people don't understand what happened in that scene because some people are like, because they feel like Rhodey was off script or going like a little bit too hard on Nick Fury in that scene. But when you realize everything Nick Fury has been doing up to that point, it makes sense why he did that. So while this whole Rhodey is a Skrull thing, maybe he is, who knows, who is? But the point, but you're missing the forest for the trees. Because the thing is, this dialogue that happened in this scene is some of the blackest dialogue that Marvel has done since Black Panther was Killmonger.
But it was Jet all magazine, beauty.
Jet magazine, all that. It was there. But the way they did it was almost like they were talking in code. Like you'd only get it if you understood what they were talking about. So just briefly, I'm gonna break down what they were talking about. I'm gonna say it how they meant to say it, but they didn't get a chance to say it. Because basically Samuel Jackson was like, Rhodey, help me out. I need help. Nobody else can help me fight these Skrulls. Since you're in a position of power, help me out. And basically, Don Cheadle's just like, why should I help you out? You think the reason you should help me out, my brother, is because of this. You're in a position of power. I'm just not. They didn't say that, but they said it without saying it. They said it quite loud, like, brother, we need to help each other out. Because, yeah, everybody else in a position of power, yeah, they got there because of who they know, because of their dad and stuff like that. We don't get any position of powers like that. So when we do get a position of power, we are obligated to help out our brother man, because if we don't, that's when we get mediocre people like Alexander Pierce in power, like the bad guy from Winter Soldier. And that's when Don Cheadle fired back at him like, yeah, I can't do that because, Alexander Pierce was a mediocre white man, but I didn't get put in this position of power to give my power, get back from a mediocre white man to give to a mediocre black man, Nick Fury. I was like, oh shit, okay, that's some strong shit right there. So
yeah, he's that's some shade.
Yeah, that's some shade. So he threw it right back at. So for people that didn't catch,
you one-eyed motherfucker,
right? So for people that didn't catch the context, what's going on? That's what's going on, because that is a conversation that honestly black men have internally and externally all the time with each other. Like, if we are in position of power, are we obligated to help the person underneath us to help build them up, or are they taking advantage of us? Or are we being exploited by our own people? Those are things we have that conversation we got to talk about.
That's that. Yes, being people, BIPOC people.
BIPOC, it's there. Yeah,
yeah.
So and that's the thing. Like I completely brushed over that affirmative action thing, but I think I'm gonna come back to it just a second because it kind of hits.
I was just about to say, it sounds like they're talking about the very thing that got canceled this week.
Right, they got canceled this week because of affirmative action. Now, I want to say one. I hate to go completely off script on this, but I got to talk about affirmative action for a second. Here's my opinion on affirmative action. Affirmative action is a necessary evil. I know that is controversial to say, but it just is what it is. It's a necessary evil because, okay, we understand that picking people out because based on this and based on that isn't the best thing to do, and everybody should be, accepted and judged and hired based on their merit and based on their credentials and based on things that's how it should go. In a perfect world, that's how it should go. Here's the thing: we don't live in a perfect world. This is not how it goes. It never happens. It never happens. So people get hired based on who they know. Period. Point blank. Second hire. They don't care about your budget. They don't care about any of that stuff like that. So yes, affirmative action is banned. But did you ban the good old boy system? I don't think you did that because it exists. We never talk about it, but it exists. It's there. And just like I said, that's why, BIPOC people of color, we need this just to even get our foot in the door. Like I said, not a perfect system, but we need to get our foot in the door. Because here's the thing about BIPOC people of color. We can't go to college, drink, smoke, rape our way through college for 4 years and come out and get a 6-figure job. It doesn't work like that for us. Bob is not our uncle. We can't go to the firm and just have a job waiting on us. Meanwhile,
and then become a Supreme Court justice after all that shit.
Or president,
Or president.
Right. It don't work like that for us. Mediocre people of color get brushed aside and forgotten about. And that's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, we get vilified and hunted down. So that's the thing. So like I said, affirmative action is a necessary evil, not a perfect system. But we need something to combat the good old boy system. I mean, we pretend like it doesn't exist, but we all know it exists. It's that thing we don't speak about, but we all know about. So back to Secret Invasion. Yeah. So that's all I got to say about that. So, like I said, Rhodey was saying anything people were saying that he was going on script and he shouldn't be saying these things like that. But like I said, if people have been really paying attention to Rhodey or the way Don Cheadle's been playing him, he's been an asshole and a dick this entire time he's been in the MCU. And he kind of has to be because his best friend is Tony Stark. So if he doesn't keep Tony in check, who will? You know. But that being said, if Rhodey is a Skrull, and it turns out that he is not who we say he is, we can always bring back your boy, Terrence Howard. So there you go. That'll be the secret end of the secret invasion right there. Rhodey versus Rhodey, they fight each other. That's all I want to say on that one. So far now, after the second episode, I'm like, okay, we have something. Let's keep going and see what we have with that. So that's all I got with that. Eli, you haven't been watching it all, have you?
Sorry, no.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. You know, some people have been trashing. Like I said, I've been into it. But can we talk about something you have been watching?
Sure.
Okay, cool. The thing you have been watching, I think you have. Superman and Lois.
I did not watch this last episode. I know what happens already, so go ahead and spoil it.
But I can do that anyway.
remember last week my internet was out, so I was behind. So I was an episode behind. So I have not watched the finale yet.
You're not watched finale. Okay. So yeah, I am going to spoil it, just basically tell you what happened on that. Basically the story, the last season has Lex Luthor found Bizarro and mutated him into Doomsday. So they have Doomsday in the last season. The last episode. And
how does he look?
He actually looked pretty good. I'm gonna see if I got a picture of him. I'm trying to see. I do. I got a picture of him like that. Like I said, a CW budget, he didn't look bad. He didn't look bad. Like
shit, it was way better than fucking BVS.
It was better than BVS. Like when you say it was like for a CW budget, that's pretty damn good. You know, like they said,
for a CW budget to be better than fucking BVS.
Right.
Come on, you know.
They should have did better than that. So yeah, so I got to give them credit on that for a CW budget. They
remember that shit? Remember the arguments this is back when Ogar was on the show. Remember the big old arguments we got into?
And he loved BVS, and it was the greatest movie ever.
He thought it looked fine, and he swore that wasn't his final form, and it was.
And it was right. Just because Zack Snyder said, "Don't worry, he'll look better." He didn't. He looked the exact same.
I remember speaking of getting fat when we saw the trailer. Fat T was with me when we saw the trailer, and we're like, "Who the fuck is that?" And I'm like, "Is that supposed to be Doomsday or somebody?" And Fat T was like, "Fuck no, that better not be Doomsday. That ain't Doomsday."
You got exactly what you were asking for. So yeah, that was it. So Doomsday, like I said, for a CW budget, looked pretty good on that one. And the thing was the ending. The ending got me because it ended. Hold on, let me see. I bet you Fat T's saying something right now. Let's see, Martha. Yeah, we not gonna Maria.
You talking about Maria Hill?
I wasn't, but now I am. It's like you. All right. So, but the thing was, it ended. It had one of the craziest endings I've ever seen. They had one of those cliffhanger endings.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Where Superman and Doomsday are fighting on the moon. And right when they charge at each other, when Doomsday got he tears off his two spikes and like that, it runs at Superman and Superman runs at him. Sure, just cuts off. That's it. The end. I'm like, no, you can't end it like that. Like, what the fuck? Like, it just ends. It just stops just like that. Yeah. And they're on the moon fighting. And it does make me like why don't they do this shit in the movies? But yeah, they end the show like that. I was just like, what? So imagine.
So it wasn't. Yeah. I thought it was because I heard people fucking, but no way, that's such a bad way to end a season. Blah blah blah. And what a cliffhanger! It's like, oh, did they kill Superman or some shit? That's what I was wondering. Because we're all wondering the whole season, is Lois gonna die? Because Lois had cancer, and we're all concerned for Lois. And then I was like, whoa, that'd be some shit if Superman ends up getting fucked up because we know what Doomsday does. You know,
right? Every time Doomsday shows up, that's what he does. Yeah,
yeah. And I was like, oh shit. Well, that would be quite the twist. But that's even. I think I would get mad at that.
Yeah, it just ends they fight, and then Doomsday kicking his ass the whole time, but then it just ends. Like, man, CW does it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was actually I was shocked. I was surprised. So, however, I will say the best looking live action Doomsday or best Doomsday we've seen in a live action show actually isn't any of these. It's Krypton. Nobody even remembers this show.
I watched one episode, and that was it.
It was actually pretty good. The first season was actually pretty good, and it had the best live action Doomsday on there. So, yeah, I'd recommend that.
No pictures, no pics, man.
I started to, but I just thought about it like right now when we were talking about it. So, yeah. So, theater of the mind. Just imagine whatever you think is the best live action Doomsday. That's what it is. That's what Krypton is. Now you actually go watch and be like, the fuck? Let me say, I'm gonna move on past that. We're gonna talk about not only because that wasn't the only CW DC show that had a finale this week. We got to talk about Gotham Knights.
Oh no, I haven't been. I'm way behind. I never caught up with this.
I think it's like I'm the only one of 6 people that have actually seen this show. So, and I gotta admit, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Like I'm talking about like the overall season.
It wasn't that bad. What I saw was not that bad. Yeah.
And honestly, I think the season finale was actually pretty solid. It was pretty solid when they wrapped up. Now, one of the best things I do like about the show is that, like I said, you got to play Harvey Dent. I didn't watch Supernatural. I think that's where he came from. I didn't watch the show. I didn't know what he was. First 5 episodes, I like this guy boring as fuck. Why did they hire this guy? Then you get around to the later episodes, and he switches to like big bad horror. You're like, oh, that's why they hired that guy, because he pulled that shit off perfectly. Now, I do want to say this. They finally turned him into Two-Face on the last episode. Wasn't the best looking Two-Face of all time. A lot of people are bashed on
CW, that's not bad.
For CW, it's par for the course. I put it like that. So
better than that mutant leader.
Oh, yeah. We're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that. No, I'm sorry, Jake. You're right. Series finale. Gotham Knights canceled. It's done. It's out of here. So that was the series finale. They didn't know it, and you can tell because they were planting seeds for series for the second season. Like I said, Harvey Dent just turned into Two-Face, and the boring kid, the one in the front, the leader that no one gives a shit about. Yeah, the one I can't even remember his name. Hunter Tyler. I don't know what the fuck his name is. Anyway, he gets recruited by Henry Deckard. You know, the same guy that trained Batman in the comics. Saying he was like, okay, I'm gonna do the same thing for Batman. I'm gonna train you, and that's how the show ends. You're like, damn. Okay, so they were setting up some stuff, and I was like, damn. And I know a lot of people were upset about this show because they thought that it had like an LGBT agenda, and maybe it did, but at the same time, it was really just 2 hot lesbians making out the whole show. So how can you be mad about that? So people just like to complain. I don't know, but like I said, I like the show. I'm not defending it. I would have been completely satisfied with a second season. Honestly, I would have thought that CW would have leaned towards Gotham Knights and not see Superman and Lois as far as getting renewed. Not that Superman and Lois isn't a much better show. It's much more expensive. So I thought they'd go with the cheaper show. But I guess they decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So they're bringing Superman and Lois back, but they are slashing the budget. So it's going to be a Gotham Knights budgeted show. Like all the people on there, they're canceled. So yeah. I mean, fired, basically. So that's what I'll say about that one. So, yeah. So
everything's getting, well, I mean, it's cool that, we talked about Superman being renewed, but losing its cast.
Right. What did it cost? Everything.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of shit. You hear about Reservation Dogs is ending after this season, which is
its final season. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not canceled. They're just creatively ending the show, which is fine, but it's kind of sad for natives because that's was our only show we had.
Right. So. but it is a good thing that at least you get a chance that the show gets to go out on their own terms, so you can actually have a finale. You know,
there's bittersweetness, but it also, like I said, that after it's gone, that's it. Rutherford Falls was canceled too. So that's I'm sure there might be some shows in the works and some films in the works, but as far as TV shows and comedy, because a native show or a native movie, an indigenous
trauma
movie
porn,
it's gonna be all about sad, traumatic history, and that's all good. Those stories.
So we got to know our history, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Those stories are important and they should be told. But we can't focus on we need joy. We need to celebrate indigenous joy. And that's what Reservation Dogs and Rutherford Falls did, was we got to see natives smiling,
Right. Like, you don't have to tell us how bad it is. We know how bad it is.
Like, I don't need to be reminded how shitty it is to be an indigenous person.
Like, it's okay for you to entertain us. It can be entertaining,
Yeah. So, I mean, like, our trauma is important, but so, indigenous joy is equally as important. And I just hope there's some more native comedies coming down the line, because I never knew I needed that.
Right.
I never knew I needed to see Michael Gray Eyes be funny,
Right.
So, yeah.
So I don't know. So let's go to the big news. The big news right here. This has been dominating the news circuit. James Gunn, and this has been official. James Gunn has announced his new Superman and Lois Lane. So
yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So it's done. I know things have been floating around. Like, I know every other week everybody's saying a new Fantastic Four, new Reed Richards and Margot Robbie is going to be. No, all that shit's fake. Don't believe any of this shit. But this is real. We got, like I said, this is the new Superman, David something. I'll find out his name when he gets famous.
Look at us doing all the work.
Right. All this meticulous research.
The big news of the week. We don't know his name, but
that guy that was in that thing. Eli,
I don't even know where he's from.
No, you know this guy.
Do I?
You know this guy. Okay. So apparently he was in some Mia X. I'm sorry, that's the rapper. Mia Goth in X or some shit.
Oh, X? He was in X?
I guess.
Really?
That's what he said. One of those movies. He was in one of those movies.
Oh, he was in Pearl. Oh, okay. He was in
Come
Pearl.
on, Jake. We not gonna come on, Jake. I've been hearing it all week. Everybody saying it, like, we got Superman at home. Now I will say this, that they do.
We do have
look alike.
Superman at home.
So him and Henry Cavill, they do look very much alike. He was in Pearl.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he was in that. So yeah. Just saying, like I said, yeah. So he does look just pretty much just like Henry Cavill did 10 years ago. I mean, a little on the skinny side, but I don't know why everybody's freaking out about this. I'm so sick of people getting mad about fan cast. I mean, every time something fan cast, when Ben Affleck or Heath Ledger or Henry Cavill or Michael Keaton, every time somebody gets cast, everybody always flips the fuck out. Everybody gets mad. Why are you getting mad? Why do we have to keep going through this cycle over and over again? We just wait for the movie to come out and then bash him, or at least give him the benefit of doubt. Because we know nothing about this guy. So where are you mad about a guy you know nothing about?
Yeah. Twilight guy, Twilight Patman.
Everybody got flipped out over that.
I was ragging on him from day one, and I turned out to love that fucking movie. I still think his suit looks stupid, but I love that movie.
Right, and the thing was, and I can't even really bash Robert Pattinson because I mean, people say the Twilight movies. Like, I've never seen the Twilight movies, so I've never seen the guy act before. I don't know what he could and couldn't do.
What did we see? Fat T. We saw him in something he was really good in. He played a scumbag junkie. I forget what it was called.
I know what movie you're talking about. Yeah, I know what movie you're talking about.
He could act. Yeah.
That got him the Batman role. Like, yeah, they saw, they were like, that's our guy. So yeah.
But he just looked so boyish. But then when I saw the movie and this is Batman year 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Fucking worked,
So that's my thing. So yeah, like I said, no, everybody needs to quit going through this whole cycle. And my biggest thing, people are mad because he looks too much like Henry Cavill. How is that a knock? How is that people? Don't you love Henry Cavill? Yes, all of you love Henry Cavill. I'm gonna prove your love for Henry Cavill.
Good time. Thanks, Jake. That's the movie.
Good time. Oh,
yeah.
I know, like,
good time.
What's he talking about Jimmy Walker for? I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. I was lost as fuck until you just said that.
Not getting hassled. Not getting hassled.
Anyway, let's go. Like I said,
keep I was going
to make it away if you can. Anyway, all right. Like I said, I'm going to prove everybody's love for Henry Cavill because we did a poll on our page. And yes, every Superman, live action Superman, who is your favorite? And of course, who won? Henry Cavill. I think the vote was like 270.
Oh, did we do this?
We did it. Yeah, it was on our page. Yeah, we did it.
Let me blow. I can't see because I'm fucking up blind.
I'm trying to see.
Oh,
I
wow.
checked
That
to
was
see
pretty
who
neck
you
and
voted
neck,
for.
man.
Yeah, it was like 600 votes on there. So shout out to everybody that voted for this. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even vote.
Yeah, I looked for you. I looked to see if you voted this time.
Yeah.
Like, but I didn't want to see if you voted for Henry Cavill.
Who voted for Dean? 1% voted for Dean Cain.
You fucking mega. I need to look. I'm not gonna out you, but I'm pretty sure if I went in here, I can find out who voted for Dean. It's probably they're probably trolling. They're probably trolling. It wasn't like
probably me. No.
Make Dean Cain great again. Anyway, how did Nick Cage didn't win? Nick Cage actually got quite a few votes, Jake. He did. He got a few votes on there. I put him down there to see what would happen. And yeah, he got some votes on there. But yeah, that's all of that. So yeah, so y'all love Henry Cavill for some odd reason. I have no idea why, but y'all look. Honestly, I think y'all just in love with Henry Cavill. I've been saying this for the longest. I think that's all it is.
Could be.
Like that's your hall pass. That's your
maybe
guy
it was
right
all all our women and our another demographic voted for him.
Right, that's what. Or like I said, it wasn't another demographic. Even though I know it was Pride Month, I'm just saying these guys are straight. But if they had a hall pass, it'd be Henry Cavill. That's why they voted. So it's not gay if you want to fuck Henry Cavill. Like yes, it is. It is. Sorry, guys. Oh yeah. Anyway, what are we talking about? Not Henry Cavill. Lois Lane. So we got Lois Lane also. This chick, Rachel something. Okay.
Brosnahan.
So she got
Brosnahan.
her. Thank you for your research, Eli. Yes. Okay.
No, I watched the Marvelous
Miss Mabel.
Great
that
show.
show is awesome. That show is awesome. Yes. So when they hired her, I was like, yeah, okay, thank you. She's awesome. She needs to be there. So I'm completely on board with her. Yeah.
What the fuck movie? She was in this mob movie, this gangster movie on Prime too. It was good. I can't remember what it's called.
Jake, what is it? You're a fact checker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jake. Do you know the mob movie she was in?
Right. I know Jake knows it. Off the top of his head, he even got to research it. But yeah, that's the thing. So the fact that now here's the thing. As far as like the casting of James Gunn is already off the top. Honestly, this is brilliant cast for both of them. I'm excited for both of them. Honestly, I was not the biggest Henry Cavill fan. I'm sorry, I don't want to fuck Henry Cavill. I know I'm the only man on the planet that doesn't want to do that. I don't know. So yeah, I didn't vote for him. Christopher Reeves is my guy. Not I don't want to fuck Christopher Reeves. I'm just saying he's my favorite Superman. That is the gold standard of Superman. Everybody else is just playing Superman. Christopher Reeves is Superman. But this guy, I'm on board. I mean, he looks like Henry Cavill, but if he can act, hey, that's one better than Henry Cavill. So yeah. And plus Lois Lane, we know she got it. So yeah, we're good on that. So all right. Yeah. So we can move on past
act. It. She's done. She's got range.
Yeah. Like I said, so far I'm excited. I feel like James Gunn is on the right track of this. It's not some out of pocket weird casting. Like I don't know.
And I heard he did screen tests. He mixed them up and see how the chemistry. He did he didn't just okay, you and you come with me. No, he's see how they work together.
Right, because they got to have chemistry. That's the thing. Yeah. And the thing is, this guy has to pull off Clark Kent because, like I said, Henry Cavill. Like I said again, I know he's your man crush, but he is the worst fucking Clark Kent ever put on live screen. So please get somebody that can play Clark Kent next time.
I'm your woman. Thank you, Jake. That's the movie.
Okay.
That's the movie that Rachel Brosnahan was in. Good flick.
I've never heard of it, but okay.
Yeah, I think it was on Prime or Netflix. I saw it during the lockdown. It popped up and I watched it and it was really good.
Okay, cool. All right. So before we get to the next part, we're going to talk about Vidja Game 6 just real quick. I want to appreciate everybody that joined into my live stream. We're going to get some live stream action going on right here. Now I was streaming Miles Morales. Oh, let's get us in here. Yeah, I was streaming Miles Morales the other day. Yeah. So, like I said, I was playing it, and honestly, Eli, playing through this whole game, I'm starting to realize something. Miles Morales is way more fun to play with on this game than Peter Parker. I know a lot of people haven't played. Now, I'm not saying that because he's black and like that. No, he's just fun to play because all his venom powers and the smashy shit and the invisibility stuff like that. He has more powers than Peter Parker, and he feels like he's more reckless. Where Peter Parker feels like it's like, I'm gonna just swing, but he does like more wilder shit, more crazy shit. With the animations are more reckless. So just playing it, I'm just like, yeah, I prefer to play as Miles Morales. It's just more fun to play. than is Peter Parker. Even though Peter Parker had the better like story modes like that, but gameplay wise, yeah. For anybody who hadn't played the Miles Morales DLC, definitely play it or at least check out the stream. I'm gonna finish it up probably like next week or something like that.
Oh, is it included in Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a whole nother game.
Depending on which it's complicated. They don't want to call it DLC, but technically it is DLC because sometimes you can buy them like both together. Because the game is only like about like 4 or 5 hours long. That's about it. It's not really that long. It's basically DLC. So,
okay.
Yeah. So that means move on to the next part of the podcast. Like I said, this comic book bullies, where we talk about comic books. And Eli, I'm gonna let you go first. I know it's a light week. Technically, it was the last week of June, so of course it was gonna be a light week. So yeah.
All right.
So
what should I do? I guess I'll do the Darth Vader book.
Mm-hmm.
Light week. Darth Vader, black, white, and red. Number 3. This is just basically a Darth Vader short anthology series. The only continuing story is the Jason Aaron one. We've been getting, a different chapter, short 10-page chapters every month. And we get a continuation of Jason Aaron's story in which these computer hackers have hacked into Vader's suit and are trying to basically kill him, but Vader uses the Force to basically turn into Magneto and kills them all with floating objects and throwing shit while he's strapped down on the table. So
nice. That's
cool.
my Vader. So he was unconscious while doing this shit?
No, he was. He was.
Oh, okay.
Conscious.
He was up. Okay. I was like, okay.
Move.
Okay.
He couldn't move. They had control of his suit.
Okay.
But Vader just used the Force and like threw shit, like threw his lightsaber, fucked them all up. And then we got the Daniel Warren Johnson story.
All right, here we go.
Very writing and drawing it. He was an artist as well as writer. Very simple story, just Vader being a badass. He goes down on a planet, chasing a rebel ships down onto a planet. The commander's like, should we send deploy the TIE fleet? Like, nope. He wants to do this himself. So it's just Vader taking out the entire rebel fleet. Fucking takes them all out in his TIE fighter. He force chokes other pilots.
While they're in the
while they're flying, he force chokes other pilots. Then goes down on the lands on the planet, takes them all out. It's very simple, not much of a plot, but it's Daniel Warren Johnson, who I love his art style. Very raw, not very exaggerated. It's totally unrealistic. You don't look at Daniel Warren Johnson's art for like realism. It's hyper realism. It's totally fake and exaggerated, and it's more about the energy and the rawness. And that's what I love about his work. And it's just watching Vader just murk everybody. And then the last story was written by Mark Bernard, who is a part of
from Batman and Batman.
Yeah. And it's just Vader. This had the best story. Yeah. Vader takes this pilot down to a planet. They said there's a diplomatic mission he's going to go on. Takes this pilot down. Turns out it's her home planet. Turns out it's her hometown. And says, yeah, I'm here on a diplomatic mission. And this pilot's like, there is no diplomats here. Oh, yeah. I've been informed, or I've figured out we have a spy in our ranks, and starts force choking the pilot.
Damn. Okay.
He's like, you're a spy. So you can either die right now, or you can be a double agent and you can feed me information from the rebellion.
Look at Vader. Okay.
They agree to become a double agent. And then this weird thing where Vader talks about, I don't want to destroy the rebellion. I just want to keep the rebellion going, because a rebellion is essential to an empire. They need a conflict to fight to keep
almost like the same thing in the Matrix. Like we expect the variable to resist, so we just let them do whatever.
Basically, okay. I was like, damn, that's some dark shit, And this is, and here's your, and then so at the end, he's like, here's your house. Go and say your goodbyes because you're never seeing them again. And that's how it ends.
That's messed
so I thought that was pretty wicked. But yeah, this is, like I said, I've been really digging this story. This comic book. It's just, Vader being a badass. Way cooler than he ever was in the movies, doing wicked, overpowered shit that we never seen him do. and it's just pretty cool. So yeah, this is a 4 out of 5.
Nice. Okay. All right. So, this next book is going to be one of those crazy ass X-Men books that got a wall of text on them and shit like that. So it took me 3 times to read it, even understand what the hell is going on.
Okay.
So
while you do that, I got to dip out real quick.
Go for it. I'm just go ahead and just knock this book out there. Yeah. All right. So the book I'm going to do is, I don't even know the name of this damn book. What is it? Heralds of X-Men Before the Fall, Heralds of Apocalypse, 2301. Yeah. So Heralds of Apocalypse. So that's what this book is about. Is that it's about the Fall of Mutant storyline is coming up. So this is like a prelude to the Fall of the Mutant storyline, and basically what's going on with Apocalypse. We haven't seen Apocalypse since the Ten of Swords because he left the island Krakoa and went to go be with his family. So now this whole book is just with his family, and we just pick up from there. So let's get it started. So yeah, so the book starts off with Apocalypse just floating over dead bodies, just saying, "What is strength?" Meanwhile, his wife is here, and his wife is basically not here on a social call. She wants to go back to Earth because Apocalypse locked the gate behind him. So they're stuck in Ameth, this mystical world, and they can't get back to planet Earth. And she like, I want to get out of here. I need to go. Now, why does she want to go back there? We will find out that in a second. This is almost like they want this to read like the Bible, but it's really more like a Tubi movie. Just like, bet you wonder how I got here. So that's what it's like. So him and his wife are like, you're going to send me back to Krakoa. You're like, no, you're not. You're like, yes, you are. And Pac was like, what you gonna do? You're gonna persuade me? You're gonna send your army? You're gonna send my children? And like, no, I'm gonna persuade you myself. Let's do this. And she pays out 2 swords, hand him one sword, throws him a sword, and she was like, so why don't you try to counter my argument with your own argument and basically get to the point. So basically they're gonna fight it out, And it's basically, I'm gonna just cut to the chase on this one. This is where back in the time, a millennium ago, 1,000 years ago, when they're in the realm of Akara, and basically it's just a peaceful planet. Apocalypse and his wife Genesis are just raising their 4 kids. Get it? 4 kids, 4 horsemen of Apocalypse. Yeah, it's all thing. So it's just a paradise that they're right there. And then while they're just celebrating paradise and Apocalypse is just, taking his kids for a walk, that's when they get a blink, and that's when that whole Hickman thing about the Twilight Sword hit. Basically, annihilation comes to Akara, and they basically war for like 1,000 years. Meanwhile, Genesis and Apocalypse are still fighting each other. They're going back and forth. They're not using their mutant powers. They're just fighting each other, just sword versus sword. And they're basically reminiscing on what they did, basically the 1,000-year war they fought against Annihilation. And the thing is, Apocalypse doesn't know how the war really, really ended, and she's telling them. So while Annihilation, they finally was about to beat Annihilation, Genesis did some magic shit, beat all Annihilation's armies, and she's about to tell them what exactly happened. So like I said, they had peace, they had paradise. But what Apocalypse don't know is that his wife brought Annihilation to their peaceful paradise. She didn't want paradise. She wanted war. But she thought that they was going to win the war. So when they found out that they weren't going to win the war, she basically made a deal with Annihilation to cut Akara in half, which one half is Krakoa and the other half is Araco. So his wife is responsible for the whole shit. We thought it was Apocalypse the whole time. It's his wife. She's the one we need to be worried about. So while Apocalypse was pissed off about what finally happened, he just like, you basically squandered peace, and we had even peace. And that's when his wife like stabs him right there, bam, two jabs. And then she just talking to him. She's like, don't act like you would have did. You would have did the same thing. So anyway, we finally get to the point of why she wants to go back to Krakoa. because Apocalypse lied to her. About a few months ago, they finally realized they finally asked like they didn't know that a Rocco had its own planet because the storm made a Rocco Mars. So like, wait, it's a planet. So did the mutants conquer Earth? They're like, nah, they didn't conquer Earth. So but what they don't know is that the Eternals wiped out Araco. And Apocalypse knew about it because he's been spying on Earth the whole time, and he hid the information from them. So Apocalypse has been lying to his family the whole time that the mutants are doing good, but really they've been wiped out by the Eternals. So you're like, that ain't good. We're going to war. Fuck this shit. And that's why she wants to get the codes from Apocalypse right now to go home. But anyway, they finally talk it over with Apocalypse, like, okay, fine, you convinced me. But Apocalypse, of course, isn't dead because his mutant power is to manipulate every single atom on his body. So he grows 4 arms, rips out the swords, grabs the swords, but instead of fighting his wife again, he just throws the swords down. So he's like, look, you convinced me. I'll let you go back to Earth. I'll give you one of these gateways. I'll take the other gateway and I'll plant the other gateway here in the island of this planet because mutant power is always played in mutant blood. And she takes the annihilation mask with her and she goes to the gateway back to planet Earth. The end. So, yeah. And he walks with some kind of goat demon. And yeah. So, like I said, this book was very hard to comprehend and accomplish, but I somehow made it through, somehow got through it. All I can tell you is that this book is based on how did Apocalypse's wife come back to planet Earth? Apocalypse let her. She's worse than Apocalypse. She's even more dangerous than Apocalypse, and she's coming to fuck some shit up. So I'm pretty sure this whole fall of mutants thing, this is what they're talking about. So yeah. Overall, so what do I give this book? I give this book a honestly 2.5 out of 5. This was a struggle to read because they're trying to make it so epic and so daring and so big. But I was like, nah, it ain't hitting like that. So nah. So that's what I got. All right. Eli's not back yet. So I guess I will take my turn and do my next book. So the next book I'm going to do is Action Comics number. What is this? Action Comics number. No, not that one. 1056. I'm doing Action Comics number 1056. Okay. So basically what the story is, I'm going to just minimize Eli for a second. There we go. There we go. All right. So basically what this book is the final story of Hank Henshaw. Hank Henshaw storyline with Superman. So the Superman family has been fighting. Oh, you're back. Okay. All right. Get out of there. Okay. So the Superman family has been fighting Hank Henshaw. They've been fighting Metallo, not knowing that Hank Henshaw, the cyborg Superman, is really pulling the strings behind Metallo. He's really
you're doing another book. Okay.
Oh no, you're back now. Oh yeah. No, you go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, Hank Henshaw. What book is this? Oh,
okay,
Action Comics.
Yeah, Action Comics 1050. I don't know if you read this or not, but yeah.
No, I'm not on the Action Comics.
Okay, so this is the last book I'm doing. So I'm gonna just go ahead and knock this out, and we kind of go from there. But yeah, so like I said, Hank Henshaw is pulling the strings behind Metallo. They finally found out where Hank Henshaw is a cyborg Superman. And this is the final fight between the Superman family with Metallo fighting Cyborg Superman. So let's get to it. Okay. All right. So the book starts off with Cyborg Superman and Superman fighting each other. They're underneath, like I said, an old building that Lex Luthor used to use. Oh, and also basically he's thanking Superman. Because he was able to hack into World War technology. Now he has World War technology inside of him, and he has the white sun radiation that's powering Superman to like ungodly levels. He's on that level too. So Cyborg Superman is more powerful than he's ever been before. And he's just beating the shit out of Superman. So he's like, I still hate you, Superman, but I thank you for this. Meanwhile, he's fighting all the Superman family by himself. Meanwhile, and he's also kidnapped Metallo's sister and turned her into a Metallo herself. So she's Lady Metallo, and she's trying to kill Superman's kids. But our Metallo is saving the kids from Lady Metallo, his sister. So yeah. So while they're fighting, and Hank Henshaw is basically telling him, I got to look at this panel. Show this panel. This panel right here, this panel is awesome. Hank Henshaw is basically telling Superman, you don't understand how powerful I am right now. I know your other half of your family's here fighting me, and the other family is down there fighting A-Town against my other cyborg robots, and you got refugees down underground. Guess what? I am fighting all of you at the same time, and I know every single thing that is going on, and none of you are going to beat me. And even if you do manage to beat me, I can just replicate myself and just keep going. Like, oh shit, so nothing you can do can stop me. So you got so you got Superboy and the Eradicator fighting, and the Superboys are like, Eradicator, will you please help us do something? You're like, I could, but you're like a flawed clone, and Superman got them bastard kids, so I don't really feel like helping either one of you because none of y'all got anything to do with Krypton. But I will tell you this one thing. Since you got these crazy tactile powers that don't come from Krypton, why don't you use those powers to manipulate the electrical field around it to stop Hank Henshaw from replicating himself? You're like, wait, I could do that? You're like, well, why don't you try it and see? So that's what Superboy does. He does some kind of weird tactile kinesis thing and basically disrupt the electric field all around the building. So Cyborg Superman knows what he's trying to do, so he's trying to get to him before he can stop him. And he tells Lady Metallo to kill Superboy. But before he could do that, Steel smacks the shit out of her. He was like, and then smacks her to the ground while doing that. Metallo smacks the shit out of Steel. He like, don't touch my sister, and knocks him out. And he was like, don't worry. He tells us, don't worry, I won't let them touch you. And Cyborg Superman comes over and just heat visions her in the face. They're like, well, you're a wasted clone, and then Metallo goes at it. He's like, okay, you attack my sister, I'm gonna come after you. He was like, well, why don't you come at me, Metallo? And he knocks Metallo's jaw off. He was like, that Metallo, don't you understand? You've always been a tool for people better than you. You're just a gun that thinks he's a real boy, and just beat the shit out of him. He's like, no, I know what I am. So he kryptonites heat visions through his face, puts his claws all in him like that. I know what I am the whole time. You just forgot what I am. And then Metallo rips Cyborg Superman in half. And then drops his body on the ground like that. And since Superboy did that shit where he can't replicate himself, he's done. He's out of here. So yeah. Meanwhile, all his clones all over Metropolis just die. That's it. They just fall asleep. They're like, we won. That's it. Meanwhile, Kenan, China's Superman can hear a heartbeat. And it's a callback to what Superman taught him earlier. Like, even if you're enemies, you still do everything you can to help us. So he realized one of the guys still has a heartbeat. So he takes that one guy to the hospital, as a listen to Superman, and so, yeah, that's it. So we're going to keep going past this. And the next page is Superman. I just love this panel right here.
That's pretty cool.
It's just Superman just looking over the city, and he's just hearing the heartbeat of everybody in Metropolis, just making sure that everybody's okay. He's looking at Steel, and his family. They're working on some shit. Meanwhile, some other people over here getting their ass whooped, so like that. He's looking at his family. They're just watching TV. And meanwhile, we got a call back to John Kent and his other two super twins. They're playing Coney Ball, which is a thing that he wanted to play with Superman. But now all of his kids are playing the game together also. So they're bonding together. And I thought
Coney Ball?
Coney Ball. It's a game that Superboy and Superman made up. I think where they throw a pine cone in space and they find out who can chase faster or some shit. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Some stupid shit. Yeah. So anyway, we go to Steelworks Towers, and basically Steel has remade both Metallo and Lady Metallo like basically replicant bodies, synthetic bodies to make them pass as human.
Blade Runner, yeah.
Yeah, some shit like that. They're still robots, but they look human, like that. And she basically is like, I don't like this. And she basically tears off her skin and realized that she's still metal underneath it. She was like, I don't want to be a monster like you. And she's like, no, you're not like me. You don't understand. Besides the kryptonite, before the metal parts, whatever made me, I was there a long time ago because I did what I had to do to protect you. You, on the other hand, you're like Superman and the rest of those guys. You're a good guy. So, and don't worry. And now that you're with me, this monster will always be next to you. I will be with you and protect you. And meanwhile, Superman, Steel, and Natasha, they're just looking at this heart for a moment. And Superman's just like, don't worry about Metallo. I have faith in him. And the end. Like I said, there's some more. Oh, no, it's not the end. Some other shit goes on. Oh, what is that storyline coming up? That Devil's Night DC shit coming up?
Night Terrors or something?
Night Terrors, that shit. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Everything's doing that. That basically all the DC books are doing that for the summer.
Yeah. So this epilogue is setting that up. So basically, like the terrorist group, the Blue Earth, basically been beaten. and they're like, we need to find a way to get back at Steel because he's using Kryptonian technology over Metropolis. We're looking at the Kryptonification of Metropolis if we don't do something. And that's when the person that created this terrorist group, this organization, tells them, no, we're not going to do that. I got another plan. And this is, I don't know who. Now, I think
I don't know
who this is. Now, I'm gonna take a wild stab to get it, and I'm probably wrong, but I think this is Clarion the Witch Boy, even though Clarion the Witch Boy can turn into Clarion the Witch Girl anytime they want to. So it may be them, but may not be them. So, but anyway, whoever this person is, this girl, she created this terrorist organization. She's saying, what we're going to do is that we're going to frame Superman as a mass murderer, and we're going to take the credit for it, and we're going to clean up his mess. To be continued. Night Terrors, that's what it is. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Night Terrors.
Okay, so
I just pulled out the
look at you with the collectible.
With the free comic book day preview of the Night Terror event all summer.
So they're pushing the shit out of this, even though I don't know what the hell this is.
Yeah, and remember this? July and August.
Oh, fuck no. Hell to the fuck no. Hold on, let me blow this up.
This is the checklist.
To the no. I'm not doing that shit. No.
It's like a fucking phone book.
I will watch Gomer's podcast and for what him do.
I mean, Night Terrors number 1 and 2. Okay, so there's a Night Terrors actual book.
Yeah.
But it's cross Action Comics, Batman, Black Adam, Catwoman, Detective, Green Lantern, Harley, Nightwing, Poison Ivy, Punchline, Ravager, Shazam, Superman, The Flash, Joker, Titans, Wonder Woman, Zatanna, everything. Like basically the whole DC lineup is gonna be doing this shit.
Why are they doing this shit? So, that shit better be good. I'll read some of it. That shit better knock my socks off.
Hey, if you read some of it, I'll at least do the main book. I'm not paying for all this shit.
Here's the thing. I have a cheat code for crossovers, right? Here's my cheat code. Fuck no. Even looking at that shit give me PTSD. Okay. So here's my cheat code for crossover events. Normally, when I read a crossover event, I will read the main story, and anything that guy is writing, I will read his stories. However, this is Joshua Williamson. He writes every fucking thing. So I'm not reading all this shit.
Yeah, Batman, Superman. No, he's on Superman, right?
He's on Superman. He's on Green Arrow, which I'm not reviewing. He's writing all this shit.
Chip Zdarsky's on Batman. Is he doing? Who's writing Detective? That's Ram V.
Ram V, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not reading all Joshua Williamson shit. Hell no. He's writing half of DC and IDW. Fuck all that. No, man.
Green Lantern, that's him too?
Well, Green Arrow, that's him. Yeah.
Oh, Green Arrow. Who's writing Green Lantern? I forget.
Him too.
Him too, yeah.
I think he is writing Green. It might not be. I'm just making this shit up. I don't know. But still, he's writing a whole bunch of shit. I know that.
Yeah. I mean, if you do it, I'll at least follow the main series. Which now that I'm thinking about it, those books are probably gonna be like $5-6 a piece now.
Right. Like, damn it, Jack. Please, DC, please hire somebody else. You don't have to have one guy write all your shit. So, oh man. All right. So what book you got?
Well, Ghost Rider number 15.
Okay.
Benjamin Percy been killing it on this book.
Have they did the Ghost Rider Wolverine crossover yet?
Well, that happened already.
Okay, I thought it was another big one coming. No,
that's Wolverine and Predator.
No. I think like they built into another Ghost Rider Wolverine, like they might do like a one shot or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But this is like we're getting to the end. This is the end of the story arc where. So there's a secret government laboratory called Infernal Labs that have been doing experiments on demons and the spirits of vengeance and stuff. So they had Danny Ketch, the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. And they took him, he made a deal. Like, if you take my spirit of vengeance out, you can have it, basically. Mm-hmm. So the woman, the doctor who's in charge of all this shit, her brother was possessed by a demon and is now in hell. So that's why she's doing this. So they extract the spirit, Danny's spirit out of him, and she puts it in this like mech robot, which we see right here. So that's Danny's spirit of corruption or whatever. There's a spirit of vengeance, spirit of corruption. So that's Danny's spirit of corruption in this mech robot. She takes it, opens a portal to hell to go rescue her brother who's been down and trapped in hell. Meanwhile, Johnny Blaze and that Talia, that FBI chick with the psychic powers, they are on their tail. They've been investigating this shit. They find the laboratory. They find out that this chick took the fucking spirit out of Danny, which now Danny is just a human. You know, he can get possessed, and he's down in hell. Yeah, and he's down in hell. So Johnny goes down to hell to go rescue Danny. Meanwhile, the doctor chick, she goes down, she finds her brother all possessed. He's all demon, like Evil Deadite style. And she starts losing control of Danny's spirit that's inside this mech robot suit. And she loses control, and Danny's spirit escapes. So it takes off. She doesn't have that spirit anymore in that mech robot. And she's trapped down in hell. Meanwhile, Johnny finds Danny. He's still alive. He just doesn't have a spirit. So now Danny's spirit of corruption is like wandering around in hell, you know, looking for a host. So, and that's kind of where it ends. Pretty cool. You know, this is starting to like build up towards the finale. Yeah, I've been really digging this series. You know, it's just taking Ghost Rider back to its horror supernatural roots of the 90s, you know, just fighting demons and monsters and what have you. And it's been cool. I've been digging this. And yeah, this is another 4 out of 5. Digging this book. Okay.
So, all right. Well, I've done all the books I was going to do. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not doing that shitty ass Green Arrow book.
I ain't doing the shitty ass Daredevil and Echo.
You didn't do Aliens?
Aliens was okay.
Okay.
It was one of those they're explaining shit. It's another exposition. They're building up and building up. And now that I think about it, and I read The Predator too. Mm-hmm. They're getting pretty wordy. Like last couple issues have been just like exposition dumps.
Right.
I don't mind. And is
it like philosophical or is it just like, yeah?
I mean, the Alien book is dealing with like corporate takeover and the environment exploiting, you know, environmentalism and exploiting like natural resources because they're on a water planet. They're on a frozen moon that they're basically getting water from. Mm-hmm. And just taking over that water source. This is a water source, and water is a precious commodity in the universe, and this big corporation comes and takes it. So it's dealing with that. But as far as like the actual plot of the aliens, they're still thawing out, like they're still frozen in the air. They're still I'm waiting for the carnage to start, and it's been 2 issues, and it's been a lull. Like this issue was a lull, last issue was a lull. Same thing with Predator, the new Predator series, where it's basically all the like the movie Predators, they're all on that island or that planet getting hunting, but they're all from different time zones and shit. That's getting a little long and drawn out too. And then as far as Daredevil and Echo,
but it did come out, that's right.
Yeah, I think the writing was a little cheesy this week.
Oh damn, he was doing so good.
He was doing so good, but
like
then he was like, now he's getting a little juvenile with his writing.
Okay.
You know, I still like the whole flashback of the gangs in New York thing and Hell's Kitchen and Matt Murdock's great-great-grandfather or whatever being a part of the street gangs, the Dead Rabbits and stuff, and this demon cult that's resurrecting demons, and Demogoblin was in it, but it was just kind of cheesy, a little cheesy. So I don't know. So I didn't review that either.
Okay.
Whatever I just said about now, but I was a little disappointed in it. Strong opening, strong first issue. The second issue, I was like, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we come back next time. So I don't know.
And Green.
All right.
No, you read Green Arrow. I've only read that first issue, and then
I like the second issue. That's and yeah, the other one, and he's still in space.
Yeah.
He's in the future now. He's in the future now.
Okay.
But yeah. So, but like I said, I wasn't talking about the book. Yeah. Anyway, last thing I want to talk about is, like I said, last month was Black Music Month. So we do want to. I know that the NPR had a Tiny Desk concert with Juvenile, and I told people about this 2 months ago. It was going to happen. Everybody thought I made the shit up, and it happened. It actually happened. Now, if people that don't know about Juvenile, never heard of Juvenile, they want to let you know that Juvenile is that's him. But the thing about him, he's a gangster rapper that makes you dance. So he's still rapping about shooting and killing and everything like that, but you can dance with it. It has a catchy beat to it. Yeah, so it's like, I'll shoot your head. Also like that. It's fun. Like that.
Back that ass up.
Right, back that ass up. That's the thing about Juvenile, that you can say anything to a woman in a song. It was a catchy beat. She would do it. Shake that ass, bitch. She'll dance to it. That's what I say. So, like I said, NPR, if you really want to take it that far with the Tiny Desk concert, give me Project Pat. Do that one. And whether or not he's in jail or not, I don't know. Do it from jail. I don't know.
That's a little deep for me. I'm not.
That's a little deep. If you do it, you'd be like, why the fuck are they doing this? It'd be too shocking to do it. They have the balls to do it. So every time I say that on this show, people will do it. Like I said, they don't have the balls to do Blood Syndicate. They did Blood Syndicate. They don't have the balls.
Yeah, they did, and it was just okay.
You're right, and it was just okay. It's all on DC Universe. So I'm gonna actually sit down and read it just to make sure. Is it?
It might read better as it might read better
as a binge read or whatever like that. So, so that's all I got. So to celebrate that, I'm gonna end the show with the Juvenile song on the audio podcast. I said. Oh, also I forgot to add this. Also, if you listen on Stitcher. Not that one. I thought about it, and I really love this song, but not that song. I'm gonna switch it up and not back that ass up either. Also, like I said, if you've been listening on Stitcher, you're not listening to us on Stitcher, because Stitcher is actually ending this week. Thank you. Fat T knows what the fuck I'm talking about. He knows about Project Pat.
Fat T knows he was the hip hop head.
Fat T, what you know about Project Pat?
Yeah, that's the thing, is he knew he was the hip hop head. I was the metal head. And we sort of crisscrossed.
Right, kind of.
I listened to some of his shit. He listened to some of my shit.
But like I said, Project Pat has a Fat T will tell you about him. He got it. Anyway, what else we got to talk about? That, like I said, that's pretty much it. That's all we got to talk about. Definitely listen to This Geeks and Comics. I'm pretty sure they went way deep into books that we didn't talk about. I'll listen to that podcast later on. Also, listen to tomorrow. Also, I probably won't be on tomorrow's episode. I think I got shit to do. So.
Yeah,
but
and also Pluto TV has a 24-hour Godzilla channel, Godzilla movie.
So they finally got that. Okay,
4 hours, and they got some ones that are hard to find that I've been trying to track down for a while. Some are from the Heishi era, like Godzilla 1985, which has been out of DVD print for a long time. Mm-hmm. Godzilla versus Biollante. There's some rarities on Pluto now. So the thing's been on for the last 2 days.
Just Godzilla. Yeah. So good. All right. So that's all we got. Like I said, we'll come back next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about. It'll be a brand new month, so we'll go from there. Oh, yeah. And, or should I aim with Project Pat? I don't know. I'm going to do like two flakes and flip a coin. Juvenile Project Pat. Right. Then get a man. Anyway. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.